sing a sad song, but you...
Lonesome Dove, in the late 80s, there was a miniseries on TV. It starred Tommy Lee Jones and Robert Duvall. Lonesome Dove was the name of it. It's still my all-time favorite Western. I was playing a show at the Bluebird Lounge on Hillsborough Road in Nashville. Carl Jackson, myself, Jerry Salley, maybe Jim Rushing. And I got the idea, the song title from the show, but I knew I didn't want it to be about the show because being a songwriter, I figured out, well, there'll be 100 of these. So Carl's daddy's in the crowd and I'm looking for a Martin guitar because I've been borrowing one. And I'm playing every Wednesday night at the Bell Cove Club in Hendersonville. So Carl's daddy tells me he knows where one is. Carl and I go to Mississippi to pick it up. When we're coming back, Carl takes that guitar out of the case, which just sounds great with him playing it. You know, it's a 53 Martin. And he says, well, how are we going to do this Lonesome Dove song? And I said, well, like, you know, something maybe Emmy would do or something like that. So then we're coming back on the Natchez Trace, and it is just a downpour of rain all the way back to Nashville. The time we get to right there below Franklin, we got the song written. Carl calls me the next day or two and says, man, we should put some oohs in this thing. And he kind of sings them to me over the phone. They're great. We get in the studio, we call Allison Krauss to come and do the demo. And I run into a friend of mine, Garth Fundus, who is Trisha Yearwood's producer, tells me that he's got this song in his A drawer. He says, I'm going to find someone that can do this one of these days. I didn't even know he knew the song, so it was great for me. And then not long after that, one of the song pluggers, we were working for Polygram Publishing Company, one of the song pluggers tells me, or says to me, have you heard Trisha Yearwood sing your song? I said, man, are you sure it's mine? Because by this time, I'd already found out there was 20 of these things floating around. And he said, no, it's yours, you know. The session players on the sessions, once it becomes obvious they're going to cut it for Trisha's first album. Dave Pomeroy was the bass player, and Brent Mason was one of the guitar players. And they had both, I think, played on the demo. They both called me and said, you know, we've cut this thing a couple of times, and they say we're going to cut it again, you know, because it's just not quite what they want. And I think Trisha kind of took charge of the sessions and said, because, you know, they had Allison's demo, and they were like, well, this is not Allison's, though, it's mine. And boy, all you got to do is hear Trisha's record. It's one of the better records I ever had. It's a great cut. Thank you, Trisha.
And that old lonesome dove is gonna mourn for his love, no matter how far he flies. Lonesome dove, we're not that different. You sing a sad song, but you're not alone.